Greetings, it's me once again. Normally I'm using my SLR camera, but right now I'm outside at my job, so why you see the area is different. So anyway, today I'm gonna play something that, yep, after I made the video of Metroid 1 and Super Metroid, the next thing I will talk about is, and yes, I had it in a bag because I need to protect it. I'll talk about this game, Metroid 2, as you can see right there. This game is a magnificent, great game. This game came out in 2000, no, in 1991. Came out when the Game Boy was popular. This guy right here, this is the original Game Boy. So I'll talk about something interesting about this game, personally. Sincerely. Anyone ask why I talk about this game? For one fact. The game was my first, a little trivia, this is my first handheld device I had. Before the Game Boy Advance, this is my handheld of choice. People had the Game Gear or the Atari Lynx, but those are too expensive, so I got the Game Boy. And I got it when it was discontinued in 2002 or 3 when I got the handheld. It came with Tetris, then I got this game, Metroid 2. So apparently it is. And also it was overshadowed by other games such as Warioland or much better, but sincerely this is the game I had a lot of choice of, aside from Tetris. It is short, it is a linear game in this franchise. A little trivia. So most coincidence, it also doesn't have a map. Like the original, it doesn't have a map, specifically on something. So all you have to do is simple, just like any handheld, just put the Game Boy. There we go. So as you can see, for example, my Game Boy, it does. Well, let me adjust the batteries a little bit because this is the problem with this game was they do suffer the fate on the battery. So you see on the screen, I see Game Boy. I will up the volume a little bit so you can hear it. So here's the game right here. You don't see it because of the glare. I will press start. You can tell it, here it is. So most people had this as their choice. So then most people, because of when I was in school, and majority of my friends, they had GBA, DS, etc. But I was the only kid who used this handheld, so it was quite natural that I was the only one who has them. So this game is fun? Yeah, it is. It is short, by the way. This game is more influenced by the movie Aliens, which is the sequel, not the original. Which makes sense because Aliens was a lot of xenomorphs. It's just the opposite. It's the same with Metroid 2. So, how I received the game? Well, when I was just 3 or 4 years old, specifically, I didn't expect a handheld console. It was more a console home system. I had the NES and the SNES. But then one day in my birthday, it was my 4th birthday, I didn't expect nothing, and aside from that, and I get a gift with another one. When I opened up, I was in shock. I was like excited. It was a Game Boy, and the game came with Metroid 2, the game I showed right now. When I got it, it was very exciting and revolutionary because I didn't see graphics like that on a tiny handheld, monochrome green graphics and dot matrix and the stereo sound quote. So it was quite a new back then. It was the portable 90s go. Oh wait, this is before cell phones. For those who are nowadays, you have no idea. This is the way entertainment back then. Back then, handheld things wasn't easy. Nowadays you have a phone, but back then It was this or nothing. Unless you consider those Tiger Electronic things. I used to have, don't get me wrong, I used to have two Tiger Electronics. Those are long, non-proportionate. Those are long gone compared to the Game Boy. So you can easily buy a Game Boy nowadays. Well, if you had a photo and you had a time, because most of it doesn't work. My Metroid 2 still works, the battery backup still works. Most Game Boys does not. So, what is my experience? Well, freaking amazing, let me tell you. When I got the game, I was impressed by the details of Samus. Was mind-blowing. Coming from the NES 8-piece prior to a much smaller screen and better sprites, it was impressive. You start in the top in the planet called CR3888. Your mission is to terminate all the Metroids. That's the plot. You terminate it all except for one. And you have evolutions. You have the Omega, Beta, Zeta, the Omega, which is the biggest one, and then the Queen, inspired by the Queen Alien, the movie Aliens. Once again, by the way, the movie was not made by Ridley Scott, which is the original. It was made by James Cameron, the same director of Terminator by Arnold Schwarzenegger and him. Little trivia. So you defeat the Queen Alien, was just applying bombs on her. Then you get one baby Lobby Metroid is still alive. That was the most sweetest moment, I would say, and the cutest thing. And that was people loved the baby Metroid, or the Lobby, as we call it. And as a result, you risk it, and that's it. It continues the plot of Super Metroid, which I did review it already. Recommend this game? I absolutely recommend it. It is a great exclusive title for the Game Boy. Plus the remake is out on the 3DS. If you want to play 3DS, if you had the original, here it is. And I had it in this bag because I want to protect it. So if you want to play the original, you have to get the original Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color if you have one. I recommend the Game Boy Advance SP is the better way, but I prefer the original way. So right now I'll leave you with some footage of my little Game Boy in action. By the way, it has some lines on it, so for those who asking why I didn't fix the lines on the Game Boy, well, I promise I will fix it. Right now, you'll see it in action. So hopefully you get the idea. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So enjoy the gameplay of Metroid 2. So stay tuned for the next video.
Greetings, it's me again once again. After the O2 special episode that I made, this is the third one. So I hope you can see it. The next episode will be this game right here. This card right here is Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance. All the story. Before I get started, I know the episode of Metroid 2 is coming up, but because I must found that cartridge, I won't tell what it is. But for now on, we'll talk about the Nostalgic Memories of Fusion. For those who are asking about the episode of Metroid 2, that'll be on the special episode of my birthday, will be in May 1, so you have to wait on that to see that. So for now on, we'll play about this game right here. This little card right here, this is Metroid Fusion. Believe it or not, it was my first Game Boy Advance game, because the one I started was Metroid 2. But the reason I have a special memory with this game over others Game Boy Advance games is because it was the spiritual successor of Super Metroid. Super Metroid was a great, amazing game. I talk about the Christmas episode, so if you want to watch that video, I recommend to check out the little hint up there, or the link down below in the description if you want to watch it. So why was this cartridge so special to me? Well, this get me inspired, get me into it. The story behind the X-Parasite and all the future stuff. A little trivia. This was chronologically on Metroid, on the Metroid universe. This is the last game on the Metroid chronology. Yes, this is the last one. By that point on, Samus was 30 years old in this game, chronologically, not releasing. So, for those who get confused. So, that point on, the Federation 4 or BCE, they tried to get the experimental on the Planet CR32. That happened in Metroid 2, and after the events of Super Metroid, they find a creature, and I'm not going to say the story because, please, you have to find out yourself. We know exactly the X-Parasite can be infectious and take quite a lot of time to get infected. This is trivia I found out. If you watch the movie, the John Carpenter movie, The Thing from 1982, well, it took the same formula in this game. So they combined the movie Alien and The Thing together to make this type of game. You have the X-Parasite, which is come from The Thing, and the Metroids will still be the Cinemorph for aliens they combine here. So that's the why it was so different on this game, unlike others. Unlike other games that you destroy an enemy, you receive an energy tank or missile. In this case, to attain those energy, you need to absorb the X thanks to his brand new fusion suit. By the way, which is, if you wanted to get the fusion suit on Metroid Prime on GameCube, this you can unlock by putting this game on the Game Boy Advance. You can, but then for those who are asking on the Metroid trilogy, you have to use by credits. In the original Metroid, with a card. Anyway, back to Metroid Fusion. So, why has special memory with this game? First of all, by that point on, one of my friends has a Game Boy Advance SP, another has the original. I was the only kid who has the original Game Boy. I didn't have a Game Boy Advance, but when I saw this game available, I wanted the game. But the problem is, I don't own a Game Boy Advance or a Game Boy SP. Heck, DS came out, and the original DS plays Game Boy Advance. So I was in trouble because I couldn't play it. Plus, I already had the Game Boys. So what I decided to do, I begged my parents to want this game, despite it was expensive. So they did. I bought this game, and what enjoyment! I had to ask one of my buddies of my school to let me the SP, DS, or all of those consoles to play just this game, because all of my friends has GBA games except me. This is my only game that I used to have as a kid, the only one, because all the games that I had are original Game Boy games. No Game Boy Color, nothing. Only originals. This is the first one I started it. So when I played it, it was awesome. It was much interesting. The story is more open than the Super Metroid, and it was a lot of stuff on there. The music is amazing. It's well composed, well designed, well compact. Kind of like this, again, spiritual successor of Super Metroid to me. So that's the only thing I know. Other thing that I know is a little trivia. This is one of the few Game Boy Advance games that has a battery backup inside to save, because all the Game Boy Advance use ROM to save. Well, this one of them uses a battery inside. A little trivia if you want to check it out. Also, as you can see in the logo, I know my label is a little beat up, but you can see here, this logo right here is because this game came out at the same year as Prime. Maybe Prime was trying to overshadow this game, but the problem is I didn't have the GameCube to buy Prime. Instead, I just let pass Prime and buy this game. I got Prime later. By the time when I saw the Wii, Prime was getting Prime. I got Prime finally. That was my first GameCube game. A little fun trivia, I would say. But that's for another episode. So why this interest in this game? So when I got this game, it was a fun factor for me. When I put the game at first the story, I was hooked, immediately hooked in. Since I'm Metroid fanatic that I am. Like the two previous games that I played, well, 3, because I've been playing the original Super Metroid 2. This is the 4th game that I played on the line. So, what I believe me, there's a lot of stories, tragedies, serious moments of this game to make me really interested in the Metroid universe. Especially some serious moments. So, when I saw this say X, aka Samus Aran X, it reminds me one movie, The Terminator. It goes right there. The Terminator, obviously, is a cyborg, well, a robot inside of the human flesh. Well, this creature is an X, a core X inside of him. What it does, the X, is mimic the prey itself. Well, Samus is almost being killed by an X. Well, that X become a core X, and then evolved to an SAX, which is a relentless, inhuman killing machine. It destroys almost everything what he passed on him. And in the game, you have to avoid him until the last part, because he's the last boss. It is the most powerful though. Also, for those who would ask why Samus can go to cold conditions, remember Metroids, they don't tolerate cold conditions. Remember that the last game, in the original Metroid, one ice beam is toast. Well, when Samus was killed by the Metroid antidote, her cells changed, so you cannot touch the ice in this particular game. So they have to use the parachute. There's also interesting stuff in some secret areas. Oh, a little trivia. And when you complete the part 1 on the sector 1, you see a when you complete the mission. Well, that music came from F-Zero, the Super Nintendo game. That's a hidden Easter egg. But there has also a secret message that I'm going to show you in the footage right now. It's a secret that you have to eat specifically. It's so secret that you have to be precise. I will show you in the footage later. So, do I recommend this game? Absolutely, yes, of course. This is a great game that almost surpassed Super Metroid. You know, Super Metroid is my special heart. Despite this game is better than Super Metroid, I had a lot of people on YouTube, but Super Metroid is still on my heart, my hardcore spot, because it was the first game I had. So that's the reason they both neck and neck each other. But Super Metroid takes the king. And that's when it's the second place. So, and that's all why the history behind it is. Again, I begging my parents, despite I don't have a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, none of those consoles, just the original. But I didn't care. I want to just play this game just for that. I didn't get my Game Boy Advance until way more later. By the time when the 3DS came out, I got the Game Boy finally. Or the Game Boy SP is the one I got it. The Advance I also got it, but it broke on me very quickly because it was more fragile. And of course, I bought it second hand, of course, if you ask. And that's the why. So it was this game that introduced me to the Game Boy Advance. This game. And I bought others such as Warioland, etc. But this game takes the crown. So please check this game out. You won't be disappointed, my friends. So I'm gonna leave you for my usual capture footage on the real hardware, real everything. So enjoy and take your time. So I hope you like it. So I'll see you in the next Nostalgia Memories of my childhood on this episode. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Yeah.